Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today we're just doing a little winter maintenance on the Z900 RS and going to check a new little kind of park area which myself and Toaster might be able to go for a walk around, because I've ridden up this way before, obviously. If you watch the channel you'll know this, but I haven't actually stopped in here ever. And then if we have time I want to keep going up to a town called Eagle Rock, because I don't know are the photos on Google correct, but it looks kind of like it's more hilly, which is, if that is true, I'll probably ride up that way a lot more. But at the same time, you know, the photos on Google could be someone else putting photos there, so you can never know. So that's what we're doing. While we are on the bike, I'm gonna talk a little bit about other things to do with this bike, because I do have some plans for it now. You know, obviously initially a large part of my kind of plan with this was to keep it street and trackable, but now that I have, you know, a dedicated track bike, and there might be some news around that very soon, I want to make this more streetable too, which will probably mean I'll take off this screen, because I don't really think I ever needed it when I was just you know, riding around on the street. So that'll probably come off, and I'm probably going to change the bars again too. I would like them a little bit more up and back, I think. Now I could try modify these ones and just get risers, so that'll probably be my first stop, is trying to find some risers. But also I talked about it when I fit them, the landing here for the controls has never been kind of long enough, so my mirrors have always been kind of sitting just a little bit more askew than I'd like. Now the stock bars are actually on the CB, and I really like how they feel on the CB, so I probably won't take them back. But yeah, I might try first doing risers, and then if I'm not happy with those, I might do, you know, a different set of bars with the risers or whatever else. We'll see. If you have personally done any bars on this bike, let me know what you've tried, and I might try them and, you know, fit them on. And oh Jesus, I forgot that was there. Thankfully there's plenty of meat on these tires. Hopefully we don't have a puncture. It's something I love about this bike, is just how responsive it is. Now honestly I couldn't really be much happier with how this particular project turned out. You know, all I wanted was to make the suspension work better for me, which worked great, and you know, just kind of fix the things that I thought was wrong with the stock model, which was the throttle response and also the power. Now yeah, so to keep going, so another thing I might do, I know there's been several people who have expressed an interest in they changed the speed limit here. Okay, good to know. We've expressed an interest in seeing a quick shifter on here, so if I can afford it this year, I will put on a quick shifter as well, just to test it, you know, as a community service. I'll throw a quick shifter on, see how it feels. I don't think I have much call for one anymore, because I might bring this back to the track for like a fun track day or whatever else, but I mean, the very first day out on the SV, just honestly because of the increased lean angle. I mean, the SV is undoubtedly slower than this bike in a straight line, but the big difference was the lean angle you could get. And I mean, I'm not even using all the lean angle on the SV. I've always been very open about the fact I'm not fast, and I'm not, and that's okay. You can recognize these things and then try and improve on them. But yeah, the SV, first day out on it at NC Bike, I went faster than I'd ever went on this bike. So I think that in itself tells you that if I can go faster on the 2003 bike with really not much power, you know, I can go. There's not. I could chase times and stuff on this forever, but I don't think there's much value in that. So I probably never will, and that's, I mean, largely that's kind of the purpose of a quick shifter, is, you know, it's really for the track more so than anything else, but it's something that people have expressed an interest in. So with the future build, that's for the future projects on this, that's probably also something I'll look at. Other than that, yeah, just like bars up and back, and then I might look at how I can get some form of luggage system on here, just kind of throw over bags or something. If I can get like throw over bags that have kind of a standoff so that they don't just flop in underneath and, you know, foul the wheel or whatever else, that's something I'll look at too. But I mean, otherwise, genuinely, I think the Z900 RS for a tall, heavier person is one of the easiest bikes to go build, to, you know, to make it kind of right for you, because it's not expensive to do front and back suspension. You know, they're both on the channel if you want to see that. It's pretty easy to do all of the service items on it. I haven't done the valves yet. I will be doing those. I'll have to do that valve check soon. I mean, it's not on the European. I have loads of time before the European valve check interval, but the American one is there. Now, why they're different, I genuinely don't know. I don't know, is it a legal thing in America that, who knows? People like to sue over here, so maybe that's part of it. Just do the valve check earlier and you know, get it done. But either way, that's something I'll be doing. Oh, this road has been salted, so I'll need to clean my bike. This bike is still on Q5S's, and I mean, they're very good on track. They heat up quick on track. They get eaten on track, but I'm still not sure how much I trust them on like cold roads like this. And that's something to always bear in mind as well. If the air temperature is like, you know, 3 degrees Celsius, or I think that's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, your ground temperature is generally going to be colder unless it's been hit by the sun all day, which obviously in under these trees it has not. And we also don't have the benefit like in Ireland, and I know I'm waffling, but there you go. In Ireland you have the benefit of much rougher road surface. I don't know why, I don't know what Ireland use, but the road surface is a lot rougher than here. This bike just pulls so good. It's such a nice bike. Yeah, I know we've been on this road before. You've seen this road before. But you know, a large part of this was I just wanted to get the bike out, get the fluids moving around it. Always good for bikes to be ridden if you can. If you're in somewhere that you can, I know like there's plenty of people who watch the channel who live in areas that get the snowpocalypse and get like roads absolutely inundated with salt slop. And then, oh yeah, the other one that people have expressed an interest in is, so if you don't know, this bike has had Ivan's Performance tune, flash tune put on it. I have not had it dynoed. It definitely transformed the bike, I'll tell you that much, for sure. And, you know, and that's from like riding it on track pre and riding on track post. It definitely makes it feel more like I feel it should feel like, if that makes sense. But there is another step up you can do without doing any major mods, where you can drill some holes in the airbox, and you can also move up your rev limiter. And those are things like, if you buy from Ivan, those are things that, you know, he'll change you to another map for free. You just have to pay for shipping. So that's something that I would probably take a look at, since people are interested in it. I honestly don't feel like for a street bike this needs more power, but it's one of those things. It's like, does it need more power? No, but do I want more power? Why would you not? You know, we're not silly gooses here on this channel. If there's power available and it's, you know, safe to produce and stuff, why not? And that's kind of part of the reason why I want to go ahead and, you know, do the valve check, just to make sure everything is healthy where it's currently sitting at. I'll tell you, it feels very healthy. This bike feels very healthy and happy in itself at the moment. You know, I've kind of played around with the idea of, you know, selling this bike, and I don't want to sell any of my bikes, but I think just with you know, toaster wanting to ride more. But the CB, look, I mean, she's done mileage on it, and I think, you know, once you've done mileage on a bike, you can tell really well if it does suit you or not. Please don't kill me, thank you, Amazon. And it's one of those things that I think she absolutely can ride that bike. That's not the issue. I think it's just one of those things that it's like, well, I'd be more comfortable on something that's, you know, lower, easier to manage. And I think the Rebel 500 ticks a lot of those boxes, and that's kind of, it's a bike that I always had in mind, that I think would have suited her. So that's kind of what I'm currently gonna try pick up one. And you know, I've always been interested in the Rebels, obviously more so the 1100, but the 1100 I would steal it. So whereas the 500 is going to be too small a bike for me, really, and that's okay. That's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine to set up a bike, you know, for a person. I mean, there's not many people who could jump on this and ride it comfortably. You'd have to be, you know, close enough to my weight, and then you'd be very comfortable, because this bike is so planted now, for me. But I mean, if you were someone who weighed half my weight and jumped on this, it would be like riding a, you know, block of wood, which I don't think is something that I want to subject anyone to. So my fingers are getting cold. So yeah, I mean, generally this bike is going to be a good weather bike. I'm just literally brought it out today because I haven't ridden it like at any form of distance in a couple of weeks. So, you know, yeah, I would really like to cycle through my bikes and ride them to work, you know, just to keep them going. But the problem with work is there's nowhere to store bike gear. The lockers we have, even though we have to get fully gowned up, are tiny, and it's dumb. Like, you can just about fit your regular clothes in there. So obviously I have nowhere to store a helmet, and I'd have even less space to store anything extra. So this is where I wanted to come to. I'll be honest, mainly the name jumped out at me. Turnip Seed. I'm not going to write onto that. Turnip Seed Nature Preserve. It looks like it's free to enter, so that's definitely an option for us. I will have to come and have a look with her, and we'll go for a walk around here. I like those outback wildernesses. What do you think? Do you like those Subarus, those outback wildernesses? You know, that's actually, I know there was people shocked in the last video. I got some messages about it. You know, I said how I'd love to get a nice car. Oh, look at the chickens! Did I miss you guys on the way in? They're so cool, little chickens. Anyway, yeah, it's I mentioned that I'd, you know, like to get some form of Mustang at some point with like a Coyote or something, just to do like trips like Gears and Gasoline do. No, don't worry, that is not anyway on the cards. Thank you for not killing me, sir. That's not anyway on the cards for a long time, because they cost a lot of money, and I don't even own a house, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that people I'm a big car person. I have always been a car person. In Ireland, I always worked on cars, just never put them on a channel or anything. I still work on my own cars, just don't put them on a channel or anything. And you know, a large part of that is you know, space. I would record it if I had someone to hold a camera, but I think setting up a camera for myself with a car, it's just like, I already hate, you know, manhandling around a camera for the videos I do in the garage. Sir, please do not swerve at me. I mean, you'd win a game of chicken, but I'd give it a shot. I have nothing to lose. Well, other than, you know, well, I've quite a bit to lose, really, I suppose. But I don't give in, you know. You want to play chicken with me in a car, I'll play that game. I'll lose, but I'll play that game. I'm always told I have a weird taste in cars, but I mean, for everyone here who watches the channel, you'll probably be like, no, that probably seems pretty standard for the guy who prefers older bikes. I would love older cars, older vans, older trucks. That's what I'd really like to have. Obviously right now I do have a Subaru, but it is a manual Subaru. Sir, you are not in your lane. This is the quality of the drivers in North Carolina. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But I think it's, I mean, it's not just North Carolina. It's everywhere that has, you know, phone use. It's why I'm a proponent for bikes. Honestly, I think if more people rode bikes, I think roads would be safer. Obviously, you would get the same percentage of absolute head cases that you get currently on bikes. I think it's fine to do 160 miles through heavy traffic areas, 160 miles an hour through heavy traffic areas. And that's not a dig at anyone. I mean, if you can do it, fine. If you want to do it, fine. But for me, I'm pretty good at judging risk. And if there's a lot of traffic around and I'm doing 160 miles an hour, like you're talking a loose rock or like a piece that's fallen off a car, clips your wheel, that's it. That's probably the end of you, unless you're incredibly lucky and somehow survive said incident. But yeah, I do think though roads would be safer with people on bikes, and I think people would be happier. I've always said that. I genuinely think people would be happier. I love, like, this road is boring too, you know what I mean? Oh, fire brigade, hope everyone's okay. You know, these roads are boring, but I'm still quite happy being out on my bike. You know, I have my insulated underlayer on, I got my bike pants on, I got my nice insulated Suzuki jacket on. Oh, actually, we'll talk about that too. People have been asking me, do I recommend the jacket? I haven't been wearing it long enough. No idea on durability. However, if you watch Chase on Two Wheels, his channel mate, Mr. Patty Rick, did very kindly crash test one of these for us. And, you know, I think he was still fine with how the jacket fared, but for me, it burst in places I don't feel a jacket should burst and tear in. So, look, I knew what I was getting. I knew I was getting a more budget option. I got this more for the thermal properties than the protective properties. I generally follow rule number 1 pretty strictly when I'm out on the road, which is do not crash. But, yeah, I would find it, I would struggle to tell someone to buy this due to the fact it burst. That's the plans for this, is make it more street orientated, which is hugely why I didn't take it too far in one direction. You know, I didn't, like, if I'd went all the way street, I wouldn't really use it on the track, and if I'd went all the way track, I wouldn't really wanted to use it on the street. Where it was the nice in between, it still was very usable for both. Like, I still had a lot of fun on the track on this bike. I would still take it in its current form to the track happily, but as it stands, the SV is just a better option. So this is Eagle Rock, according to my satellite navigation system, and I do not see the rolling hills I was promised. But let's have a look around. There was a photo, and I mean, it's probably wherever the Eagle Rock itself is, if there is one. That's what it looked like. But I don't currently see it. Ooh. Actual turns. Who would have thunk it? As you can see, I'm being very easy today because you can still see ice on the ground, so I'm just not interested in that. Yeah, this does not look like what the Google Maps look like. Now, I'm sure there's probably like a hiking trail maybe that someone took the photo of, but whoever put that photo on Google Maps, and you know, when you hit Eagle Rock in Google Maps and that's where it brought you, that looks slick. We're just going to move to here. That is false advertising. Ooh, horses. Horsies. It's something I've still never used traction control. By used traction control, I mean like I've never triggered it. Oh, didn't see that bump. I've never triggered it unless it was kind of on purpose, you know, messing. Being an old messer. Oh, you know what? maybe this is where the photo was taken that used to have a nice view, but no longer does. Because this looks kind of like, yeah, this is probably it. That's kind of depressing. That's kind of depressing. But look at these new houses. No garages. Sadness. Sadness, sadness. Why would you not do garages? Everywhere should have garages. That is very sad. But this is going to be where I take my thumbnail photo. What maybe used to be a nice view. But yeah, this is another new build area, and as you can see, just look, people need places to live. I get it, but it's always sad, I think, when I see more and more nature being stripped, especially since you know, these kind of modern places, they don't, it's literally like complete wipe the land of everything and then build the houses instead of building in and around the trees, which I've looked into, and is apparently more to do with insurance than anything else. If you have like any overhanging trees that could theoretically fall on your house, it brings your insurance up. So insurance is once again to blame for lots of the misery in the world. So I just heard my GoPro die. That'll tell you how cold it is, because it only ran for like 30 something minutes maybe. So we'll have to finish the video with this camera. 35 minutes, that's how long it is. I started after I got fuel. So that's how long it lasted for. But yeah, this is, if you have not seen it yet, this is the Z900 RS. I've done videos and all the build stuff. It has a different spring on the rear shock, but otherwise standard. And it has different springs, different preload spacing on the front forks, but otherwise all the rest of the internals are stock. It has this screen, which I'll probably take off. It has these Pro Taper bars, which I'm going to put a riser on. And yeah, Delcovic headers, Ivan's performance tune. That's about the sum total of the modifications that we've made to the bike. So yeah, let me know what you think. What would you do if you were going to make this more street orientated? What would you personally do to the bike? Or, you know, would you leave it as is, just put the risers on the bars and, you know, put like a Kriega 30 litre, 40 litre onto the back for trips? Because I mean, I'd probably never use this other than for like weekend trips, so that should be enough. And yeah, let me know what you think of everything else I waffled on about in this video, and I hope you're all having a good new year. If you have any plans for bikes in the new year, please let me know. I'm interested to hear. It always lifts my spirits when I hear of other people's bike plans. And yeah, that's it. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. Patrons, I'm going to have to spend some of our money on a new GoPro. I think this one it's just not good anymore. I think I'm going to get the new Osmo Action Pro 4 or 5, whatever it is, because the battery on that allegedly lasts like 3 hours, which would be incredible. I could do multiple videos at once, which would be really nice for me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. What do you think when you see this? Like I said, I know people need places to live, so I'm not going to say too much. Everyone deserves a house. I'm a firm believer in that. Everyone deserves to own their own house. I'm a firm believer in that. Well, maybe not everyone. Some people don't. But all normal people, those are really cool. I want to drive one of them. Actually, I want to drive everything in there. Maybe that's a little weekend job for me. But then I'd do this and it would make me sad. I'm a very conflicted person. Either way, outro crew, what do you think when you see this view? I kind of get a little bit sad, but that's just me. I am a committed nature lover, always have been. People know that about me. And I hate cities and stuff. And yeah, I'm biased. Bye, outro crew.